Hello, everyone. Welcome back, akaAT Studio. In first step of approaching with akaAT Studio, you have got familiar with creating and running independent test cases successfully. However, if your testing requirement is more advanced and requires you to run by a specific business rule, or in a set of test cases in one time, instead of clicking on running each test cases, that time test suite will help to deal with that. In this video, we'll guide you how to create and execute test suite. You will learn what is a test suite, binding test data in test suite, run test case parallel in test suite. So, let's find out. What is a test suite? Test suite in akaAT Studio is a collection of different test case in current project. A test case could be a part in different test suite in some logical way which follow a particular component or high-level business case. A test suite is used in dynamic way to cover business requirements of testing software. Same as test case, there are 5 types of test suite corresponding: web, mobile, window, JMeter, and E2E. For each type of test suite you selected to create, you are only able to add corresponding test case from the project tree. For example, if you create a web test suite, mobile test case won't display for adding to test suite. Step 1. Click Add button to add test case to test suite. You can see that web test suite cannot select mobile test case. Step 2. Select any test cases you want to add to test suite, then click Next. Step 3. If your selected test case does not use data when adding to test suite, just basically click Finish button. Step 4. Test suite after added test case will look like this. Next, we go to binding test data in test suite. You can refer this on tutorial 5.3 data-driven binding with test suite. My scenario would be: I will run test case register and login with multiple rows of data. Step 1. For binding data in test suite, your test case must have input variable which is waiting to get data from test data. I created name and password and input variable of register test case. In login test case, I created email login and password login. Step 2. Go to test suite and add test case above to test suite. At binding data screen, select data file which contains data for register. Step 3. Select any row you want to use for binding data. Step 4. Wrapping variable to data columns. You can see email and password are input variables that you have created in test case in step 1. Select binding source. Logically, when you use input variable here means you want to bind data for it, so you will select from data column. After selecting from data column, in column value, you are able to select any column in data table. In this step, I will select column email for variable email. It means each row values of email column will be used when running test case. If you don't want to use value in data file, you can type other value here by choosing default option like name field. In the login test case, you also do the same as register. You can name test round by choosing option in test round sort. You can set round displayed by default or column name in test data. Step 5. Run the test suite after binding data. In final step, you can select different capability. Then click on Save and run test suite. After running, we get a report for 2 test cases and 3 rounds, corresponding with 3 rows of data. You can click on each rounds for details. Next, how to run test case parallel in Test Suite. Config by field, concurrent instance, it will run a set including number of test case. Now, I will add more 3 test cases for running concurrent instance. I have 5 test cases in Test Suite, and I will config 3 in concurrent instance. Save and run Test Suite. At the first time, 3 browsers are prompted up for running 3 test cases at the same time. After 3 those test cases run accomplished, 2 left test cases will run. It's very simple, so you can try it. So, I have just shown you how to create and execute Test Suite. Hope that after this tutorial, you will be good at applying Test Suite for your project. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Goodbye.